way. And it made me think of like Huey Newton or Fred Hampton or Malcolm X or more revolutionaries that were not against violence. However, they knew who to target that violence towards. And whenever they spoke of violence, it was always in self-defense. It was always in defense of your people. It was always about protection.
Yeah.
So we're not just going out and shooting up the place or burning stuff down within our own communities just because.
Yeah.
But we are going to arm ourselves. We are going to protect ourselves. We're going to protect our women, and we're going to do it the right way.
Yeah, we're going to protect our women and children. We're going to protect ourselves, but we're going to do it in a controlled and organized fashion. And it's kind of like, it's a difference between being nonviolent and anti-violent. You know what I mean? Like, nonviolent is just the approach of no violence regardless.
Right.
Anti-violence is mean we not promoting violence, but we believe in self-defense, group protection, group self-defense, and whatever else we got, and arming ourselves to be able and being knowledgeable and trained in how to protect ourselves and protect our women and protect our communities and police our communities and all of that. So it's a difference between nonviolent and anti-violent. And I think what we're talking about is being anti-violent, not nonviolent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think when people start using that same energy and that same wisdom and knowledge, then they can better address the situation at hand without causing so much havoc, without things going in an uproar and chaos. Because truth be told, when you do things in order and you're more consistent with it and it's planned and you have strategy, you get a better result than you do when you just go at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get a better result. And that's really what we want at this point, because it has been so long, because the fight has been so drawn out, and because it has been so much of the same thing over and over again, that we want more in return. So we want this impact to impact the world. Not just our one community, not just our one city, not where it happened, where we feel like, oh, racism is only in that community. Racism is only in that, okay, police only act like that over here. We don't want that. We want it to be a nationwide conversation and platform, and the nationwide stands that, okay, Black people are not going to accept this anymore. Something has to change.
Right. Right.
And you gotta have order when you're doing that.
Yeah, you gotta have order. You gotta have coordination. You gotta have partnership. You gotta have stuff in place and planned out when you're talking about that. And I think, even to that point, that is kind of like what I feel like I'm seeing now. And I mean, I hope I'm right, is that more and more non-Black people are starting to recognize and realize and see that Black people are not, we not taking it no more. We are not with it anymore. We done. We past done. Enough is enough. And so it's then incumbent upon us to, make sure that we have some order and structure when we are responding. And we might have anger, which you should be angry. You had that anger and stuff, because if not, it can be real volatile and you're not going to get the results that you want from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's real. We definitely see that we're getting more support out there for people that are outside our community, especially some of the larger corporations. Like I seen where Facebook was doing a lot of donations for the Black Lives Matter, Nike, Twitter, Starbucks. So you do have it now where we're seeing more people join together. I seen the one video where the women were standing in front of the Black protesters, almost like a barricade.
Okay.
They were like linked hand in hand.
It was like a line of white women.
A line of, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I
That's
did
beautiful.
see that. And I do see that more people are speaking up on the matter. I did see a couple of different videos from even officers, even police officers, voicing their concern, going live and saying that if you have a problem standing with this community, or if you have a problem with injustice, because that's really what it's about. We're trying to get people to understand that the principalities and powers that be that we're fighting against, the systemic racism that we're fighting, this is not a Black thing or a white thing. We want this to be that Black people are standing for justice.
Yeah. That Black people are standing for justice, and the God that you all claim to serve is a God of justice.
Yeah.
And so he's on the side of justice, and he's on the side of the oppressed. He always has been, and he is now, in a very strong way. And so I love it when I see like the people linked and almost forming like a barricade in front of that. I love it when there's actual conversation and talking going on. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if I love it when I see like the officers doing the kneeling and stuff like that, because I almost feel like you patronizing me.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that is kind of like it's a nice symbol. It's a nice gesture, I guess,
Right.
and I get it. It has to start somewhere, but I'm kind of so far on this thing to the right a little bit to where it's like, I feel like what always happens is it's kind of like somebody in an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And in an abusive relationship, the person that's being abused, their abuser will do some kind of, nice little dinner
gesture.
token.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, something like that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then the person being abused feels a little more safe, comfortable. Like, oh, they apologized. Oh, they took me out.
He
to
won't
dinner.
do it again, or she won't do it again. Yeah.
They brought me a gift, and it's like, and then a month later, 911, we have an emergency.
Yep.
So, and that's kind of what our relationship with America has been like. It's been like an abusive relationship. And so I'm like, I don't want to be, don't patronize me, and for the one, and if that's not what the officers that are doing with the kneeling, if that's not what you're doing, then cool. I appreciate it. And we appreciate you, and we appreciate you trying to meet us in the middle somewhere and come to the table. But you got to come a lot farther than that.
Oh yeah.
The next time, if something like this ever happens, I need you to throw that officer off of that person that's being murdered. I just don't need you to take a knee during these protests and marches. The next time, if there is a next time that something like this ever happens, and you are a good cop and you are against violence and injustice, I need you to use your force and your authority to remove that officer from a person who's handcuffed and no longer a threat to yourself or the public. That's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
And then I'll believe
use your use your duty to intervene. You're obligated as an officer to do that. So we're expecting you to do just that. Speaking to your point though, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I had seen this one video with Keke Palmer, and they were protesting, and she was talking to one of the National Guards, and she just asked him the question, "Will you march with us?" And he was like, "Well, I'm supporting you. I understand what you guys are out here for. I'm with you, and if I could, I would. But I have to stay here." She said, "No, we're the public. You're supposed to be out here protecting us. Why can't you march with us? All we're simply asking you is that as we peacefully protest, that you'll support us and protect us by marching with us. Just go this one little length, the same walk that we're taking. Take it with us." He said, "No, because I have to be here. This is my post, and I got to protect this building." What? You got to protect the building?
Those are his orders.
Because if the building get hit, you gonna take the bullet for the building? wait a minute now. These are peaceful protesters who are simply asking for protection. And what he said was, I won't be able to do that. And then one of the ladies said, well, can you at least kneel? See, I'm with you on that. I don't need a at least. We're so far gone from an at least.
I can't take it no more. I can't.
Either you with me or you're against me, but not at least.
No.
At least I didn't turn my camera off. At least I didn't pull out my weapon too.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
At least I didn't lie. At least I didn't lie in my report.
Yeah.
At least I was willing to go to court and testify. At least I'm the one that called 911 when the body dropped. No, we done with your at least.
Preach.
We're done with that.
We done with it. And it's